I'm done with
Recording in progress.
You need batteries? You need me to run the batteries?
No, I have.
Okay, for some reason it just wiped out. Sure.
In case anyone knows.
Is this more so for this?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Who are you? Why are you here?
Why, what are you doing? What is your purpose?
Is this the Charter Division Board meeting today?
I feel like I haven't seen anybody, all you guys on forever.
You good?
Good to go.
Alright, so you're all set, okay. We'll call the meeting to order and let's have the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have a roll call, please.
Michael Alvetta,
I am here.
Nadine Hankerson.
Here.
Bernadette Norris Bates.
Here.
Mary Pelican,
Here,
and Chair Weiss.
Here, also note that our honorary member Jim is here, Jim Kincannon is here. Absent from the last meeting, we noted it in the minutes.
I memorized it.
And also note that the clerk's office is already eating our snacks.
It wasn't me.
Got called out on the red.
Okay, so can I have a motion to approve the July 9th minutes, please?
I move that we approve the July 9th minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. I'm noticing that because we had two meetings in a row, were there two sets of minutes or what happened? Because we met 2 days, right?
No, we
only met the one
We're
day.
supposed to meet 2 days a week.
We're supposed to, yeah.
Yeah. We don't.
But you guys were very efficient.
Okay, I believe items A, B, and B, the staff has requested that we remove those from the agenda and not deal with those today while it's being reviewed.
What, A and B, was there something wrong with D as well? Did you say D?
No, I said A and B.
A and B, yeah, A and B. So just real quick on those, these are related to the Human Resources requests, the Human Resources Department request to revise some sections of the charter. We did not get that information over to the city attorney's office in time for them to look at it and give you any kind of legal analysis. So we're gonna pull those off of it, have them have the time they need to look at it, and then we'll bring it back once they've been able to vet it and kind of talk to HR, figure out why they're asking for these things and what they need to do in terms of a legal standpoint. Is that a fair statement?
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so without objection, I'm just gonna remove those from the agenda. C, sale of real property. I noticed that it wasn't in our agenda package.
Yes, I printed, gave everyone a copy.
Okay.
This is a section we have previously discussed at the last meeting.
So there's really only one subsection that was in question, and that is subsection G. And you had asked.
I have two different versions
I'm sorry, where is it? Oh, I see.
So the blue is the clean version and the black is the
Okay,
line across through the.
got it.
So what have you changed from last time we saw?
Nothing, you had a question about whether the language in subsection, in what is current, in the current version, 8.04G. Regarding real estate commissions is necessary.
Right.
So in the revision, it's not G, it's
B.
B, okay. So, you have it in front of you, I can read it if you want.
No, I don't want you to read it. Tell us what,
But let me tell
tell us
you-
why we need it.
So I suggest, actually, I don't think you do, I suggest that it's superfluous because it doesn't supersede anything that's already in the procurement ordinance. In fact, currently the city has an agreement for real estate brokerage and lease management services with Colliers International Florida that was competed and procured pursuant to the procurement code, procurement ordinance. So the only mention of section 8.04 of the charter in the solicitation for that contract is a reproduction of the entire Article 8. And I can tell you what the weighted criteria for consideration were in that RFP, I don't know if it's necessary, but
Let me ask you a question. If this section is deleted, is it the city attorney's view that the city commission can continue to pay real estate commissions?
Yeah.
I think, to me, that's it. I don't really need to know.
because we have a contract and commissions are being paid under the contract. In fact, let me tell you how,
Honestly, I think if the city, I don't mean to cut you off, but I'd like to sort of move to
there are
that.
three things I would like to tell you.
Okay.
Okay, first, that under the contract, compensation is derived, compensation is derived from the percentage of lease management. Compensation is derived from the sales transaction proceeds. And most interestingly, I found about this contract is that all sales commission is to be paid by the buyer. So that's in the current contract, so it's covered, it can be covered. And when this contract expires, it can be covered again.
So have we already taken action on the remainder of 8.04, or do we need to take action on it?
It's my understanding that you,
Previously approved this section.
Okay, so it was just a question that we had.
Yes.
Okay, so let's move on from that.
Well,
Okay.
So do you want to update it?
No, we're gonna, oh yes, let's take a motion to withdraw, to remove that section B, which deals with real estate commissions, with the understanding that the city attorney's office says that everything that's authorized by this section, they can do without the charter section.
I'd move to remove section B from 8.04.
Michael's dying to second this.
Yes, thank you so much.
I knew that.
We met collectively today.
and I have a question. Since there will only be one subsection, do you want
Take
to
out
leave the
the
A there? Take out the A?
Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, great. Okay, so, under new business A,
There's still D.
D.
You want to do D?
oh, I'm sorry, I checked it off too fast, okay. So do you have the, languages here?
Yes,
Yes.
page 27.
Okay, page 27. It's in the agenda.
Got it.
So, regarding 3.03, you had asked us to separate the candidate requirements by bullet point and make it more readable.
Yes.
So what we did, actually Gabby did the lion's share of this, is separate it out into subsections.
Yeah, that's page 28, whatever it is.
Oh, and the other thing is, on 3.03, since there were so many changes and the structure of the section was being changed so much, we didn't do the cross out underline for the purpose of this meeting.
People need a chance to review, and you already looked at it.
We also consolidated,
Just one second, Bob. Are we need some time to review, or are we okay?
Yeah, I mean, I was at it.
Okay, let's go to 3.08.
this one will, given you an incorrect because the idea was to consolidate what's in subsection C to apply for candidates for mayor and commissioner. You may have attached the wrong document.
Of just 3.03?
C.
Oh,
The idea was to consolidate that paragraph to apply to both. So, can we come back to this, because I can probably read to you what it should say. Unless you want me to find it now.
Go to 3.09. But we already did, that was 3.03, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you come back to it? Okay, 3.08.
3.08 was a simple one. At your direction, we added absence to the title. And incidentally, as we started discussing at the last meeting, there's still a conflict in the language with 6.06 about forfeiture, grounds for forfeiture. So we're not dealing with Article 6 yet. So I just throw that.
so you think we're gonna remember? After you just have to remember, is that what you're saying?
I'll remember.
Okay.
I'll remember.
Good.
Yeah. Ready for 3.09?
Well, I'm trying to, in light of the questions that we're gonna ask the city commission. I mean, is it possible to say, no, you're done? In which case we wouldn't have an opportunity to deal with that section, the conflict? Because we've said we're done, we're basically substantially done with the issues that have been raised in the memo.
Yeah, if you say that about 3.8, 3.08, that's probably true. So, let me I can remind you what it was. Six point oh six is city commission involvement prohibited, and at the end of it, it says this was in our agenda at the last meeting. Any violation of the provisions of the section by a member of the city commission shall be, currently it says, shall be grounds for removal from office. My suggestion at the time, when we discussed it, my suggestion would be that they be consistent and that 6.06 say shall result in forfeiture of his or her office, because you had been okay with that language previously. So that will be my suggestion for 6.06 when we do Article 6. But currently, it's a little different from what's in 3.0.
Okay, what I'm gonna say is this. If the city commission basically says we're done, the city commission says we're done, and you basically said we're, I think that we need to look, I wanna make sure that we don't give them incomplete work or, I think what we need to do is to take a look at the entire body of work that we've done and make sure that there's not any loose ends, if that makes sense. I don't wanna give them something that creates a conflict.
Yeah, I agree, but I think a part of that is what you will do, but I guess your concern is that we won't have another opportunity to talk about
I
it
wanna
before
make sure-
their meeting and they consider the questions that we
Yeah, but I think that, I mean, listen, I think that even if we, and we could put this in our communication, even if they say you're done, I think the responsible thing to do is for the city attorney's office to have an opportunity to look at the whole body of work that we're presenting to them, making sure that we've taken, there's no conflict, and for us to look at it one more time. I feel it's been disjointed, and so I would like to look at it one more time. I mean, I don't know how everybody else
In
feels, or
terms
just
of
let
the
this,
work that you're putting forward as this is the work that we've completed.
or, I mean, the city attorney's office could just review it and say, you know, what are your thoughts?
If we're done, we're done. I know a lot of work you all did prior to me coming here, so I'm saying if the work is done.
Michael?
I guess what you just said. We're done with nothing.
Well, when you say communicate to the commission, are you talking about the next commission meeting?
Right, we're gonna ask the city, we've agreed to ask the city commission some questions as to what they want us to do, right?
Okay, and that's what we're
We're
doing,
gonna look at the questions that we're gonna ask them to make sure we're,
okay.
so if they say, no, great job, congratulations, here's your certificate. I'm concerned that, what the whole body of work that we've done gets looked at comprehensively to make sure that we haven't left a loose end or an inconsistent section like Paul's pointing out. But we could,
I would like to rely upon Paul to do that. And he's already done, he's pointed us in the, to the section, he's noticed that that's an inconsistency, he wants to clean it up. I'm comfortable with that.
alright, so so I can go nighty night tonight, sleep on. When we get to the questions for the city commission, I'd like to add a sentence that says, if you determine that our work is complete, we recommend that the city attorney's office make a comprehensive review of what we've done, and then that satisfies you and me, yeah? Okay. 3.0, so what are we doing on 3.0 now, we've just, let me go back.
So 3.08 is good, it's fine.
3.83, but there may be some cleanup work by the city attorney's office,
Okay.
right? Okay, then 9.
And by the way, this was an observation of a previous city attorney. I believe this was in that memo from the city attorney, and this was just his observation. And is it even necessary to reconcile them? I'm not sure. And that's
Well, I'm following my colleague, and we're gonna leave it up to you.
Yeah, to the extent that you think it's necessary, I think you should at least propose the language and strike through and underline and.
Because we would have never caught that.
And 6.06, correct me if I'm wrong, Anthony, I don't believe that is one that HR wants to revisit, correct?
That wasn't one that I was aware of,
So-
no.
Alright, so I think we have a path forward here. So let's
You
go.
know, I'm wondering if, and I normally see, I'm looking at the forfeiture of office, I normally see in charters some language that talks about good cause. Even if the city commission is reviewing it, it would be, so in other words, unless such absence is excused by the city commission, by formal action duly entered upon the minutes, but shouldn't there be some, good cause shown?
Some standard,
And the commission would determine what that good cause standard is, but just to have some language that would clarify that it's not based on, I don't like this person or I like that person, they determine what the good cause is. But there would
so
be
you wanna add
something
some language that says for good cause shown,
for good cause shown.
or something like that?
And some commissions go as far as, allowing hearing, I don't think anybody wants to do all of that, but at least the commission says, yeah, this person was in the hospital and maybe they missed 4 consecutive meetings, but there was good cause and we determined that, and as a commission, we vote on this and we, that's fine. but just to say, just to have, and maybe I'm looking at it too critical, but
Okay, so I think it's a good suggestion, I don't have a problem with it, and I think it's implied in the language, but we can add it. Bernadette makes a motion to add the.
But I mean, it does say unless such absence is excused by the city commission.
Right,
yeah,
but
but
she's
that's just
saying
excuse,
some
just excuse.
standard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something.
I think it's implied, but this sort of makes it implicit.
Yeah, excused by the city commission, okay, yeah,
We excuse you, you're a nice
But
guy.
You're a nice guy, we excuse, no, but you don't wanna encourage that, right? It's so. It's not a high bar, but
Right.
it's a bar.
Okay, so with permission, Bernadette moves that we add the words "for good cause shown" to this 3.08. Do we have a second adding that language?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, so we've amended 308. Remind me, Paul, after all of this, and this is one of the things I'm concerned about, where we ended up on any of the hearing stuff, city commission, one person being able to hold up, where did we end up with all of that? You know, with
The judge of.
yeah, the judging of qualifications and all that, did we ever,
You recommended repeal, that is 3.04, I believe. That would be the last month's agenda. This one, no, Three point oh four, yeah.
so what does it read now?
Well, you've recommended deletion, do you want
Yes.
to, let me read it?
Complete deletion.
Yeah.
Okay, the city commission shall be the judge of all municipal, is this one we're talking about? Shall be the judge of all municipal elections and referendums and of the qualifications of its members, subject to review by the courts. At the time that the city commission meets to canvass the results of any election, any registered elector of City of Fort Lauderdale shall be entitled to file with the city commission an affidavit setting out
Okay,
the
so that's all, so we ended up with nothing? Okay, so. Go ahead, Bernie.
Well, I think, don't you want the language that says the city commission shall be the judge of all municipal elections and referendums and of the qualifications of its members, subject to review by the courts, period? And then the rest of it would go, because you still want to be clear that the city commission is the judge of its.
This was a big debate, and again, I don't recall whether it was, what iteration it was, as to whether if there's some challenge to something, it should be, the city commission should be dealing with that challenge, or whether it just should go to the courts.
Well, it would be the city commission and it can be challenged in the courts, so it's like that the courts are the appeal process, in other
Right.
words. But I think the city commission, and it's pretty standard language, is generally the judge of and the qualifications of its members, and that's pretty
So
standard.
if the issue came up, if there's an allegation, and this is where it got sticky and uncomfortable, an allegation that one of the city commissioners moved that it doesn't live in their district anymore. So, and somebody raises that. I never really enjoyed the proceedings where, you know, the city commission ended up doing an investigation.
Well, they don't even have to do an investigation, they're just the judge. They can take whatever evidence they decide to take or not consider it, and they can make a decision, and the charter language would be, and I think I think there's the statutory language talks about procedures anyway, that, you know, it can set procedures, city commissions can set their own procedures, and I think this is just, you know.
So you think if there's a question like that, that basically should come to the city commission saying Commissioner X is no longer qualified, now lives in North Carolina, and make a decision. And then if somebody wants to try to overturn that decision, then they should go to court.
It happens all the time.
Happens all the time. So that's what you, I don't Anthony, do you remember what the discussion was about this?
What was the section number?
8104.
And look, I'm not looking to change it if it was already kind of, talked about and there was consensus.
Again, there's so many iterations and I'm interested in your opinion.
Yeah, but
Just trying to.
Yeah, if the idea is, I guess you have it addressed somewhere else in an ordinance, I'm assuming that the city commission is the judge of its members or procedure, nothing, okay.
But let me suggest that this language probably predates, or may predate, the special act that governs municipal elections in the county. So previously, the city commission canvassed its own election, and that's language taken out. But
That's different though, that's not what this is talking about. No, I know it goes into canvassing at the time of the city commission meets and canvasses, but I don't, at least that first sentence doesn't have to relate to the canvass of elections. But I agree, the rest of it probably does.
Do you remember this? What was our
Yeah, the last time it was discussed was in June of this year. And it says the motion was made to delete as recommended by the city attorney's office.
Delete them.
Just for just remind me why you're recommending it be deleted.
yes, I mentioned the
You have the issue of the canvassing board,
canvas, but
sort
also,
of narrowed down to the section of qualifications of the members.
so
Just the
there's
first
also a
sentence.
statute that says, except as provided in 102.171, I have to look that up. The certification of election or nomination of any person to office or the results on any question submitted may be contested in the circuit court by any unsuccessful candidate for such office or nomination thereto, or by any elector qualified to vote in the election related to such candidacy, or by any taxpayer respectively. So the thought was that there is a judicial remedy. Certification
That's
of
related
election.
all to elections, I'm familiar with that statute, that's related to elections, like when there is an election. I'm just saying, if like even to just qualifications of its members, like the city commission being, if someone did not meet the qualification requirements.
It's simple, they moved out of their district.
They move it out of the district, the city commission can consider that and determine that. But look, I understand both sides, I understand how you got to delete it all, and we can move on.
Honestly, I'm interested in discussing this, I wanna make sure we get it right. I'm very interested, I think it's very important. Basically, that I guess my question, Paul, is if we delete it from there, where is it covered?
I would
The issue,
suggest
not the
courts.
issue of the elections, but the issue of the city commissioner
members, yeah.
moving out of their district.
I would suggest that it still be in the courts.
So if that was to happen,
I think that was a discussion.
somebody would basically file suit and say Commissioner X moved out of their district, right?
Well, it does say subject to review by the court, so, but the first
Question is whether it goes to the city commission
first stop is the city commission. And that's what this would say, that's the first stop, and then subject to review by the court, so that's what the city commission decides, maybe not everybody's going to want to litigate, okay, the commission decided that, I don't think I wanna move forward to the courts, I'm done with that, the city commission has decided, that's the end of it. So I think, I just think that first sentence is useful, the rest of it maybe not so much, and I understand why you made the recommendation, but.
I'm remembering this, I sort of felt like putting the city commission in that position, although it's very typical, by the way, so it's very uncomfortable. I've been through, I'm sure maybe you have some hearings where you know, they're basically saying, well, Commissioner blank, you know, where do you live and where's your driver's license? And what about that house in North Carolina that you're spending all that? It's very,
That's why they make the big bucks.
that's why they make it, it's very uncomfortable and very, and so the question would be in my head now that's being raised is who would have standing then to challenge
The opponent,
there is no, they're all sitting commissioners
no, I'm
And-
saying, if I am,
halfway through my term,
yeah, halfway through my term, oh, yeah, in that case,
who would have
who have
standing?
standing, yeah,
That was my question.
any citizen.
It does say members, it doesn't say candidates.
Which, Michael thoughts, Harry?
You speaking to me?
Are you talking to me? No, well, I'm talking to either of you.
Yeah. What I think I can remember from that conversation is that it was supposed to be something in another ordinance, someplace else, that was supposed to be filling the gap for that particular, the one that you removed out of it. I don't know where it is, but I mean, I think that was the conversation in reading. Usually, or at least what I've been noticing here, is that if something has been moved, it should usually get captured someplace else.
Right.
And so where that someplace else is, I don't know, but it's that 04 was captured under something
Yeah,
else.
so what Paul is telling us is that if we take off that language,
Right.
it's getting captured, the remedy would be directly to court. So there wouldn't be a proceeding before the city commission of some sort.
At all. We have to go back and look at the minutes, but usually.
Yeah, okay, so, as they say, what do you guys wanna do? Maybe,
I'm not opposed for the legal aspect.
just take it
If
out.
Yes.
Michael?
Take it out.
Take it out is what I understand, but you know,
Yeah.
kinda like get a little lost in this. I mean, I'm looking at what it says
Right.
here and
So just to explain it to you, if somebody's in the middle of their term and somebody says, well, and I've had this person has moved out of the district, they don't live there. One of the commissioners, probably somebody who's elected anyway, somebody raises it and says, hey, this person is not meeting the qualification of the charter. Right? And the question is, what is the procedure for that to be challenged? So in some jurisdictions, I would say typical jurisdictions, there's a provision in the charter that says the commission is the judge of the two members' qualifications. That's very typical. And so what happens is you have this hearing and somebody will get up, and say, well, I have pictures of this person, from North Carolina and here's their address and then the commission will say, that's not true, I come back on the weekends and I'm here the whole time, and so you have that, and then the city commission votes to say, okay, the person's still remains qualified or they're not.
okay.
So that's very typical. It doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen, that's very typical. And then if that commissioner is kicked off, or if somebody's not happy with the decision of the city commission not to kick them off, then they have the ability to go to court. What this does is, by eliminating the language we're talking about, it eliminates the first part of what I've explained.
Okay.
So if somebody says Commissioner X doesn't belong here, their remedy is to go right to court. And so that's
And so you think that's better than having hearings in any city
And
commission?
the idea is that you're a commissioner, you live in the city, you're probably going to know more than the courts would. Like, if this is my neighbor, he lives close to me, or he lives next to my sister, and my sister knows that he really lives in North Carolina, whatever, you're going to know more than the courts would. So the idea is that the commissioners would first take the first bite of the apple to make a determination, and whoever it is that's being challenged, you know, they may just, okay, yeah, you're right, you got me, okay, yeah, I live in North Carolina, I'm not really here.
Or, you don't got me, you're wrong,
And then I
and
get
then they have to go to court.
Yeah, but the first bite is with the city commission, because it is, and it's
So you're saying take out the city commission?
The city attorney's office has recommended that we take out the whole first part of the process because it could be dealt with by the courts.
But I think they were also looking at it as this is about canvassing and elections based on what Paul was saying. He wasn't really talking about what we're discussing now.
We're just talking
which is
about
the- Yeah,
qualifications.
yes, so
So Nadine, Michael, having heard this, with this discussion, do you feel like we should still take it out, or are you persuaded?
I'm not necessarily persuaded to go back to the city commission, because the city commission will have an opportunity to have that discussion. Aren't they having a vote? So if you vote to do something, then you would definitely should be having a discussion
So
somewhere.
you mean that if an item comes up and you feel like that commissioner is not qualified, somebody would raise it as part of just a vote on a normal item, is that what you're
so
saying?
she's saying, what I'm saying is she's saying the city commission would consider it, because she
Yeah.
said they would take a vote.
Oh.
Yeah.
So,
They would
yeah,
take a vote.
they would take a vote,
Oh,
so.
Yeah, because I'm thinking the vote has already happened, and now we're moving
Okay,
towards
so
going to court.
I'm gonna call, so you're inclined to recommend to keep a two-part procedure. City commission votes and then to court, is that what you're saying?
Yes, because if someone in the community or wherever brings up the issue, someone has to address the issue. It's going to come somewhere,
So,
either be a city manager or a city
City
commission or something.
okay,
So,
Michael, how do you feel?
Same way as if you're having the scenario that we gave is that a member of the commission, from 2 years later, is now living in North Carolina, and we go through the, I will go through the whole scenario again, and then they find that this out and they have the evidence and they prove it, it goes to the commission vote.
Okay, all right, so I think we're all sort of saying the same thing. So Paul, we wanna leave, we're gonna take out the language about the canvassing board that's no longer applicable, and we're gonna leave in language dealing with the qualifications.
Stop at courts, period, after courts, the rest of the language would come out.
Can I add one thing about, in 3.03, which we talked about earlier, in the current language, well, there's language about any candidate for city commission, or any city commissioner who shall cease to possess the qualifications required herein shall forfeit, so what we were discussing before, is the forfeiture.
I know, but
Yeah,
the question
they're not gonna
is,
voluntarily work.
they're not gonna voluntarily forfeit. So, my question is this, having all these several different sections, should there be a section in a clear section? I'm ready to call for a vote on this with the two-step process, with the proviso that the city attorney's office look through this and make sure that it's all clean and fits together. Do I have that motion?
Yes.
I move.
Nadine moves. Mary is dying to second.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Paul, you're clear? You're clear.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, I'm sorry, can you repeat the motion? With the
Oh.
conversation back and forth, I'm not sure we have it clear.
The motion was to put a period after the word courts in this section with the city attorney's office to review the charter in whole, the whole charter, to make sure that what we're doing here is consistent, and to the extent that there's other sections that need to be tweaked to conform with what we're doing, they do that language. That was the motion. Okay, great. Okay.
This is voted on?
Yes, all in favor?
Aye.
We voted.
Thank you.
Okay, what's next, guys? The organizational meeting, 309, yeah. We all remember the background of this, there was who's getting sworn in, where are they getting sworn in, so this was an effort to just say, this is the organizational
So
meeting.
we're getting sworn in all over the county.
So you asked us to change some of the language slightly. We added all officials whose election has been certified, and we deleted the word newly.
Right, because it could be not newly. Anybody have any comments on that one? Good. It's a motion by Michael's dying to make this one.
And
I knew that. Nadine, you're just jumping up and down in a second, I can see. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Great.
7.16.
What about 312?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know how you keep track.
There you go. Sorry about that. Okay, we replaced, this was just, so we replaced 24 hours with upon such notice as is practicable under the circumstances. This is under special meetings. And we added the definition of emergency, which was taken in part from the emergency management section of the code. So we defined that as any occasion or instance in which there is the potential for imminent harm to the public's health, safety, or property, or where the city has the ability to lessen or avert the threat of catastrophe.
Comments? People comfortable with this?
I like it.
I think it's good. Okay, do we already vote on this, Paul, or we need to vote on it? We're gonna vote on it anyway. Who would like to make a motion?
I so move that we
I
accept
knew
the
you were
special
gonna do it.
meetings.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
That passes. 716.
716, this was approved previously. You asked us to change the word "the" to "each," to make candidates singular on the first line. Change "shall receive" to "receive," and delete at such regular or special municipal election.
Very good care for weapons. Okay, I think this is correct.
By a lot. That always makes me feel
By a lot. Okay, Jim, would you like to make this motion? Oh, I forgot you.
Should be able to,
Who would
really.
like to make a motion? Could I get to make a motion? Okay, Mike, yes, in a small group, actually, Robert's rule says it's just a chair.
Okay, what's small group?
This is a small. Michael makes a
yes, I'd like to
motion.
make a motion.
I think small, it's like two.
Nadine says, what?
It's just 3 hours.
I know that.
And the motion is to.
To approve 716 as been proposed. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, thank you, Paul. Okay,
Can we go back to 3.03 for a minute?
okay.
So in 3.03, the idea was to create a subsection C, and that would apply to any city commissioner and mayor.
Right.
Previously, that language was separated into two different paragraphs, one for the mayor and one for the for
So what do you want to add the word mayor
So
to
we
C?
were gonna, I'll fix that to add mayor to apply to.
Okay, that's what we did. No, we didn't get a motion, that's what we did. Okay, Anthony, it's up to you, buddy.
We're talking about the communication, correct?
That's what's next.
Okay, so the last meeting you voted on a couple of communications. One of them is exactly how it was drafted at the meeting. That's the first one. In light of the proposed ordinance dealing with P3 project consensus charter revision board is that P3 should not be included in the charter. Do you agree? The second one had more discussion, and then Richard and I got together and kind of played with the language. So what would be helpful, since it wasn't officially voted on, is if you all looked at it, you agreed to it, vote on it, and then that way we can put it on the same agenda, which is the August 19th agenda for the communications to go in front of the city commission.
What page are you on?
This is, well, I'm on the
It's on
the
page
agenda,
one
it's
of
at
the
the bottom,
agenda, the actual
under new
language is on
business.
one of the cover sheet of the agenda.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying B,
okay.
okay.
Yeah, this is what we
Okay.
drafted. Charter Revision Board seeking clarification from the City Commission as to expectations and direction regarding future work to be done by the CRB. I don't think we need commission and parentheses there.
Yeah, that's fine.
The CRB has completed a substantial amount of work dealing with issues which have been raised by the public or by the commission to date. So here's what they could say, listen, we want you to broaden what you're doing. Right? They
More
could,
of the question.
what?
You got more communication.
More to that
If the
question.
city commission intent that the CRB stop their work based on completing the items included in the commission direction provided at the joint workshop, or is it intention of the city commission that the CRB go through the charter word by word, reviewing every section to revise it and bring it up to date. If the intent is to have the CRB look at the entire charter, a significant amount of time will have to be devoted to this task by the city attorney's office. In particular, if a full review is the case, the CRB would like the city commission to provide direction to the city attorney's office to review the entire charter, section by section, and present to the CRB with draft language on each section as needed to modernize and update the charter to be consistent with federal, state, and county requirements.
You want a motion for this?
Do you like this
I
language?
would like to.
Okay, I would like to just say that if the city commission determines that we're done, that we recommend that the city attorney's office do a full review of the work that we've done to make sure that it is cohesive.
What if they ask, what work have you done? Are they, I mean,
Well,
We've done everything we've done everything that they on that
Okay.
memo.
Yeah, and I'm putting together a summary to send out through the city manager's office,
okay,
showing what all the sections are, none of the backup language and everything, just the sections that
Okay.
you looked at and what
Perfect.
you voted on.
Right. great.
So if we could, is there, does the city clerk's office like to stop for a snack or you're good?
What's wrong, Paul?
I'll just get one anytime, don't worry.
Okay, how about the manager's office?
Did you eat them all? Where'd they go?
Well, that wasn't me.
Okay.
Rosie sitting closest to
So
this.
I will move this since I'm the culprit.
Okay, alright. Paul, did you have something you
Yes, I
wanted?
do have some. Where would that leave us though with Article 6?
Right, so the human resources thing, so that wasn't something that was directed by the city commission. That was probably, I would consider more a request from HR through the city manager's office. I don't know how you'd like to deal with it, but it is still a pending item and the city manager would like you to eventually take it up.
Maybe that would be brought up then.
I think that's a part of what the commission will consider for our.
If the manager says, hey, I got some other stuff I wanna talk to you about, I'm the new manager, I want you to look at some other, okay,
So
then
that's
tell
what
us
will
to
be
do
brought
it.
up, yeah.
And I would also recommend that you designate somebody to be at the meeting if possible
When
to
is
help
that?
with it's gonna be August 19th at, that's at the conference, right? Yeah, communications are not a conference.
already agreed that you're gonna be there. We did not.
We did.
Why are you making us out? I don't want her here now.
Yeah, we agreed, and we're gonna give you a clothing allowance.
Is that
We're
true?
gonna give you a clothing allowance.
A clothing allowance, why you don't like what I have?
No, I want you to have a good time shopping.
What are you saying, Richard?
No, we thought it would be nice for you to have a little, since you're gonna have the pain, we wanted you to have a little bit of the.
I don't wanna blame them. Yeah, just make sure you have that document, A, B, C, D,
Well,
all.
FYI, I will not be there.
Yeah.
I'm out of town.
Well, that's bad.
That's all right, just make sure that,
You know what, Anthony, if you're not, I think that it would be super helpful for you to be there. Do we have to present this when you're not there?
No, you don't have to. I mean, David, is there, if they do a communication today, can they have it on a specific agenda rather than
Yeah, we can just,
put it on the September
yeah.
3rd agenda?
For the first meeting in September.
Yeah, I'm there then.
I think it would be.
are you back then?
No.
How long you gonna live up there? Wait, what's this thing I just
I'm
read about?
not in office, I can live wherever I want. I go back, but I'm not, I come back especially for these meetings. So,
What is the first thing in, wait, I might not be here.
September 3rd.
That's my birthday.
Oh, that's,
oh,
Yeah,
right.
that's
I was
my
married September 4th.
No worries.
Good day.
okay, I'm here.
You don't sound too
Damn
happy.
it, I'm not here the next week though.
Damn it.
Alright,
Alright, if you're, I'm fine, if you want.
Yeah, I think it would be helpful for you to be there in case some other questions came up, maybe that.
Okay.
So if that can be changed to that, and then if I can meet with you before that,
Sure, I'm
Okay.
back in the office on the 25th.
Okay.
So I'll ask Linda to reach out to you and set something up.
What's that document, just so I can look at it? Because they're gonna know, I don't really know like these two know, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think it'd just be helpful for the purpose of the clarification on the communication itself. I doubt they're gonna wanna get into a lot
Mary,
of
if I'm
detail.
gonna be here, I'll tell Anthony, I'll let you know too, because it's possible that I
Okay, no, but I'm okay. I don't have a problem saying, I don't know what, I don't know.
And I'm happy to help. You know,
Okay.
I can get up there and talk to you.
Alright, I certainly stood up and talked to them before. Anytime.
Okay, so
So we'll put it on the third.
Yeah, there are two other sections in Article 4. There's 4.06, which is probably part of related to HR, and 4.07. So in 4.06, that was on the city attorney memo, and our observation at the time was that to name an acting city manager by charter, it takes a resolution. So we were suggesting modification of that in some way, but then we learned that the city manager's office was proposing, or HR, I think it was the city manager's office, was proposing other revisions of 4.06, and that's why it hasn't been
Yeah.
covered.
And that's why it's not, this is not it.
No, that 4.06 is the version from HR, but that doesn't have any input from legal at this point.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what you were saying.
As I say, our simple observation was that it needed to conform with current practice because it's impractical to get a resolution every time.
can I just stop for a second? I just wanna reload here, figure out where we are. Okay, so if I could just go back to sort of where we were. We're approving language in our communications to the city commission. And let's just go back to that and then we can get to what you're talking about. Okay? I just like to sort of get through what we're doing. I just wanna, okay, so are we okay with the language that's on the agenda? With the addition of the fact that if they decide that we're done, that we recommended a comprehensive review of this language by the city attorney's office to make sure it all's compatible. Could be okay? Okay, so take a motion to approve the communication language as modified.
Didn't you just do that?
Did we move it?
Yeah.
Do we have a motion? I'm sorry, I got lost.
I'm
Where did it-
not sure at this point, to be honest. Let me see.
Well, if she didn't, she does.
The last motion was for 716 as presented.
Oh, okay. So we have a motion for that second by who would like? Sure.
Michael.
Michael, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we approved this language with the little changes. We're gonna take out the word commission, and we're gonna add reviewed by the city attorney's office.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, go ahead.
So I'm just wondering where we are with these other sections. So, Article 6, the HR ones, but there was also these two that were, one was on the city attorney memo, and one was on the conflict list. So 4.06, we were just concerned that it took a resolution to name an acting city manager. If the city manager goes out of town, or is on vacation, or is at a conference, or whatever, to name an acting city manager, it took a resolution. But as I say, the city manager's office has proposed other language, additional language.
So if there's
So I'm not
a
sure.
conflict from staff, not a bad conflict, but if there's two different directions from staff, the city commission wants us to deal with it, they'll tell us.
I think you just put it on the memo, because that's, the memo is supposed to be the update
Just put
of
it in the memo.
what we're doing. Just
Yeah,
put it in the memo.
I think what Paul's trying to point out is that the direction was to look at that conflict list and the other city attorney memo, and if we haven't addressed it yet, that we really aren't complete with what we.
You would just state that this is being reviewed by this is being reviewed by, city management or whatever, and we haven't addressed it. I think that just goes in the memo, that's
Okay.
just the update.
I think it wouldn't be inaccurate to say that the manager's office has asked to review this as well. So we'll just put that in the memo, that's a good idea.
And on 4.07, it was simple. It was my observation, my suggestion, that the word exempt should have been non-classified.
I do not wanna get, I do not wanna get, that's
But
that's
again,
a,
that was a conflict chart, that's the
that's a
only reason I bring
sticky
it up.
wicket, exempt, you mean, these are Fair Labor Standards Act concepts, civil service concepts, yeah, we're not gonna do that right now. Okay. We good?
I think so.
Alright. We've taken care of the designee, so if everybody's okay, if I'm in town, I'll go with Mary, and if not, Mary will go first.
I'll hold my own hand.
Should we,
I'll have nicer clothes on them.
I was making it.
I know.
You know,
And I would have volunteered to go with you. I have a commission meeting that same night, so, okay, on my birthday.
What's your birthday? Yes.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
just in case, should we notice a meeting of this board as well at the same time?
I was gonna ask the same,
Okay, that's
because you're,
very
it's
good
the
point.
same week,
So-
it's the day after.
No, he's talking about if two members of this board join the
Oh,
city commission meeting.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we do need to talk about that.
Rather than just put it in the agenda of the city commission, I would prefer, and it would be
Do
my
what
recommendation,
you think is fair.
to notice a meeting
Two
of
people
your
might,
board.
one of our members may be,
Okay.
to do it, do what's necessary.
Well, I have a
see
follow-up
that,
question,
I
but
can see that.
I'll later.
I don't know if David agrees.
All right. But it's, I'm not the attorney.
So anything else that, do we have, anything from the public, anything, Michael, did you want to talk? Nothing, Dean, you good? Okay, Jim?
No, I think we might be there.
Okay. Anything from the auditor's office?
question.
No.
Anything from the clerk's office?
You can find the cookies, I'd like one more.
I think Jim had another question,
I
actually.
do have a question. Depending on how this rolls out, there still hasn't been a decision, at least I'm not aware of a decision, about that outreach program.
Right.
That we had a lot. Is that a dead issue completely? Because that was one of the primary concerns the commission had. Here's
Very,
where we are right now.
very smart of you to bring that, very astute of you to bring that up. Okay, so
That's
we have.
one more point, in terms of the survey.
Yeah.
I was told that our new city manager had told people a couple weeks ago at a meeting in District 3 to take the survey. So
I don't see how that's possible, it's not online anymore.
it's not,
No.
Okay, but I think you raise a good point about public input, which is, we didn't really do the whole, too
We
much
got
of
kind of
this,
stuck.
the whole, too much of that stuff, because we were gonna do the survey, the city commission didn't feel comfortable with us doing the survey. Do we want to add a question to them?
Well, I see this as, the questions that we have in the commission, it's asking for direction. I didn't really see it as if we either stop where we are right now, or, you know, I didn't see that even as an option, like stop, hard stop. I see it as, and maybe it is a hard stop, I don't know, I guess that's a possibility, right? But, so I think more than likely, the commission's going to want us to do something, it's just that we don't wanna be so global that we don't really know if.
Right, if they want us to do something, and
Yeah.
they would specify it,
Yeah,
that would be great.
and we're asking them to please specify, so if
Right.
they're watching.
In terms of them
please
specifying, that could include some outreach.
It could
if they
include
want us
outreach,
to.
right,
Okay.
and if it doesn't include us going forward, and there's a hard stop at the end of the meeting on September 3rd, I think that they will then provide some public input for whatever,
Their own.
yes, public proposals for input.
Anybody else?
Just to give you a little bit of context, the conversation this morning came up during an agenda briefing that we have every couple of weeks for the city commission about a communication possibly coming from this board to the city commission about this public outreach.
And
there was not a lot of conversation about it, it was just maybe kind of suggesting that the Charter Revision Board could send a communication to the commission trying to ask for clarification on it. If not, we could just bring it up, I mean, that's not unheard of, it's okay.
You have to sort of take their temperature and see whether they're, they
I
don't
mean, we
understand
did,
it
we
from
had
here.
a plan, but
So I don't think the plan has been derailed, honestly. I think the only aspect of it that was a question mark was the survey because of the survey questions. I think the rest of it that Ashley put together is good. But it has become like I said, a little hazy in the conversation. So maybe what we do is when we're there on the third, we do kind of just
I think maybe even, I mean, the Council of Fort Lauderdale Civic Associations had, well, you were there, I mean, your presentation was terrific, and so we had this whole plan. And then just unfortunately, it got brought up as a walk-on item in a commission meeting, the survey, it just, got shot down, and we just sort of like took the wind out of everybody's sails.
That's exactly
So, it's not like there isn't a plan, it's really more the council's plan. Correct? I mean,
Richard, so the question is, because before I came on this board here, I was dumbfounded that there was poor communication going back and forth. And that's why I said, I want to sit on this board. And then I was happy to see Anthony come forward with his presentation. And everything that we were speaking about was happening. And then I don't want to see this, the plug being pulled out of the wall when the city dies. Because then I feel that my time sitting here wasn't spent worthwhile.
I will tell you honestly, I don't know what they want us to do. I really don't. I don't. Because I'm not being at all, I'm not trying to shade this, I just don't know. They
Yeah,
need to tell us.
we should get clarity on
All right,
what they
well,
want
we'll
us to do.
find out.
But that should not really include us, and I'm hoping this is not where they go. Us going through section by section, I don't think that is just, it's
So-
just, yeah, so.
By the way, I do think it needs to be done.
Yeah, it
This
needs
is
to be
an
done,
order,
right,
not by
through
us.
the city attorney's office, exactly, not by us. So,
not by Bernadette, by the city.
by you, by the people who get paid to do it.
I had a thought of putting it in the memo I was drafting to them anyway about the communication and the fact that the survey was asked to be extracted from that and that we're gonna need guidance on what to do with the survey, but that we plan on moving forward with the rest of the effort unless directed otherwise.
Okay.
So maybe that will help clarify that.
So the question is, in my mind, is who the we is. I mean, it's possible that the city commission wants to move forward with it themselves, and they may want to say, or, I don't know who the we is.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, for me personally, I don't view myself as like a public relations person or a, marketing at all. So, if the city commission, I don't know what they want. I mean, I was, as a charter review board, if we were getting public input on what we were doing, I think that's our function, but I don't know.
Yeah, and in terms of you guys are gonna be doing the work no matter what.
Yeah,
They-
predominantly it's gonna
yeah.
be staff.
Yeah.
My only real concern there is that I'm one person, I can't really be everywhere for that, so I'm just trying to figure out what that means, but I think it really is a staff issue.
It is.
And I think they need to assign, just like the city attorney's office, if they wanna do this, then somebody needs to assign additional staff to it.
You guys have outreach people for different.
Yeah, we do. It's not really about maybe the grunt work of the outreach, but the technicalities of a charter and answering the questions and getting into those kind of specificities so that we can kind of help individuals understand what it is you're doing and why it's important.
They need to be educated by
Yeah.
the city attorney's office as to all that stuff. Maybe the city attorney's office needs to be there to help answer the questions when it's, you better sort of go beyond the staff.
So maybe the memo will clarify that, and then if we bring it up, it's probably not bad.
Yeah, I really don't know what they want either, so.
We'll try and figure it
They'll
out.
find out, Mary.
Anybody else?
One last thing.
Yes.
Your next meeting is the day after the city commission meeting.
So is that
It's the 4th.
the court?
You're still gonna have it.
We're not having a third, we're gonna have a.
Okay, so
So the fourth is a Thursday.
Yeah.
4th is a
We've been
Thursday.
doing Thursdays.
Right.
is there, why can't we have the meeting?
Okay, let me
Yeah,
ask
we
you a
can.
question. Let me ask you, If the city commission says, thank you so much.
No,
September the 4th.
Then we don't need any more meetings.
We don't need a meeting, yeah, if they say thank you, if they say thank you so much.
But I think we should probably meet, so we know that, I mean,
Well, if it's thanks so much, we have a donut and leave. I mean, we're,
I don't think they're gonna do that, but
I-
they
yeah.
could.
I think we should have a meeting, I think we should have the September 4th.
We probably should have.
Richard, so note that October the 2nd is Yom Kippur, is that-
yes.
I think that got changed.
Yeah, we changed that one date.
Yeah, I can't remember what we did change.
Yeah, we changed it.
One question. Will you want input on the ballot questions? How they're presented?
If they want input from us on the ballot questions, I'm happy to work on ballot questions, but I mean, generally, that's the job of the city attorney's office.
That was
Yeah, we
a
don't-
that was a line item listed in
Yeah,
there.
we will not be drafting ballot questions.
No, I'll draft it, but you may have input, you may,
Yeah.
on the structure of it,
Yeah.
how many questions, that was a big issue.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, we don't have a right to put anything on the ballot. So the first thing that has to happen is the city commission has to look at what we've done and say, ooh, that's a good idea, let's put that on the ballot. And I would suggest that in most jurisdictions, they would say, staff, draft the ballot,
That's what
draft the
happens.
resolution, draft the ballot questions, and see you later. They could say, if they want to, we'd like the charter reviewers to look at the ballot questions you've drafted and give us input.
But we wouldn't be drafting the ballot questions.
So they have said that,
What?
that they wanted your input on the ballot questions. That was.
If they decide to put some on
They
the,
said that
that was- and if you-
in a meeting, in a public
Yes, in a
meeting,
meeting,
okay.
so we did the workshop, so that was in my memo that I provided as backup, so you can see it in there, that was one of the things that he said, wanted you to give input on the ballot referendum.
So here's my thought on that. I think there are so many, if these changes are acceptable, even the ones that we've done so far, these are too many ballot questions. So generally what happens is there is there's some catch-all language, there's a referral to the clerk's office or a link or whatever. And that's a part of the, of the question. You're making it available in a place that people can go and see it or online but you're not having like 15 ballot questions to change, you're not doing it that way. So because we're making so many changes, I think we're beyond that point. So you probably wanna look at how other cities do it when they do a global,
We've done it.
large scale changes with the charter.
We made changes, in fact, I had drafted a proposed resolution and ordinance way back, a couple of years ago, with a sample ballot question, combining some of the issues. And those are some of the things that you may wanna weigh in on, because how many questions, with the previous board, that was a topic of discussion, how many questions?
Yeah.
How many, do you wanna, are there too many questions for people to look at it at an election?
If these are, some of the things that we're talking about are acceptable so far for this, to the city commission, that's too many questions. We're over 10 already. I mean, you're just not gonna have a ballot. You don't combine ballot questions. I mean, what you can refer to a specific place to, when you say combine it, I wanna make sure we're talking about the same thing. You can have a question that deals with all of the, to change the charter, to update the charter, modernize the charter,
Yeah.
whatever you say, and it relates to all of these various changes, but you're not gonna have like 10 or 50 ballot questions
I
on
think you
your
are saying the same
ballot.
thing.
Yeah,
I think
maybe
you're
we
saying
are
the same
saying the
thing.
same thing, yeah. So, anyway, I think we're beyond the, let's have 15 or 20 ballot questions. We're not there anymore
you know
with
what,
all
I
of
think
these
we
changes.
have to wait to see what the
Yeah.
city commission's gonna determine what goes on the ballot.
That's true.
They're
That's
gonna determine first of all if they wanna do any of this, or they
Yeah.
say, thank you so much, great work, put it on the shelf. Or they,
Well, I think for all of for the things that we're talking about so far, the modernizing the various things that we've been talking about, why wouldn't they wanna do that, right? So for some of the things,
some of the stuff.
for some of the
Some of the
stuff, right?
stuff is but
It-
there's
it's-
other
right.
things that,
Yeah, so
There
if
are-
I'm the city commission and if I'm on the city commission, which I'm not, and I never would want to be, just for clarity, I would be so grateful that citizens have sat here all these months and come up with these changes that are meaningful and necessary. I think they're necessary. and be grateful and accept all of those things. And should they head in that direction, you certainly want to have, you don't want to have 20 valid questions to deal with.
But I don't, yeah.
So that's all. With that,
It's
I'll
sort
be
of
quiet.
it's sort of a fun, for me, it's a fine line between putting too much stuff in sort of a general ballot question and having sort of important issues being changed by sort of a universal vote. But anyway, we're not there yet.
No.
But, Jim,
I was just going to say that, with last board, we had spent a lot of time talking about the types of ballots, the number of ballots, and I think we all agreed, and we look back in the notes from that last few meetings, that there would be 3 questions, so that it was something digestible by the public if they're looking at, I mean, by the time they get to that.
when was this?
This was the last.
Judy, was it under Judy?
Yeah, and Paul drafted a couple. You
Yeah, I'm looking
probably-
for them now.
Yeah, you drafted a couple.
But
They were
you know what, I
combination.
think that, first of all, I think that composition of that board was much more sort of politically involved. And I think we should take this a step at a time. Let's see what the
Well,
city commission
absolutely,
says.
Absolutely.
If they decide to do something, they'll tell us what they want us to do. But that's the thing that's important, is that we get some clarity as to what they want us to do. Because I'm happy to work, we have a good group, and we're happy to work, but I don't wanna spin our wheels, I don't wanna waste our time, and I don't wanna do what they, I'm still, the last time we presented something, we got beat up pretty badly, by the city commission. Last time we presented a pretty good report with a lot of work involved, we got beat up very badly by the city commission. It's too soon, it's too much, it's too, so I don't know whether those political winds are still in the wind or not. I don't know. Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, great. Oh, did we decide, we're gonna leave the meeting the way it was. It's already scheduled, and I'll just note.
Yeah. Great.
I was not,
Oh, I know. Trust me.
You should have let him. You should have let him. You should have
Made him feel bad.
I'm
I'm gonna make you feel bad in Highland Park with a resident. No, I don't think I'm not sure about.
Oh, yeah.
It would need to be.
Doctor.
I know. Hey, have fun up there.
Thanks, Anthony, thanks.